The Sauce is a fun segment found on the Bugle 6, a live stream on Brick Artemis's channel. The Sauce brings both sides to the table. Enjoy.
I got this new segment, and it's called Sauce. Okay, and what Sauce is, it is going to be hot takes. So instead of like hot takes, I thought of maybe the name of like hot cakes. I was like, nah. And then like hot ones, but I was like, oh, that's already taken for the chicken wings and everything. So I was like, you know what? Sauce. It's gonna get saucy in here. Okay, we're gonna get some hot takes. Some of these I believe in, some of them I don't. But I want you guys to either tell me, I'm gonna have one of you guys tell me why it's true, and the other one tell me why it's not true, whether you believe in it or not. Okay. So you're not gonna give me your answer right away. I'm just gonna go, Spotchka, tell me why this is true. Okay. And then at the end, you can tell me what you really believe. So, you know, whatever. But okay, let me go ahead and get the segment. The music doesn't work for it for some reason, but we will live. All right. Now that had some really badass music with it that when
I imagined it, don't worry.
Like, man, yeah, you're just like, you know,
yeah.
20 minutes before the show, I'm like,
wait, what was it like? Wait, Brick, what was the music like?
It was like,
yeah. That's exactly
what like, you know, because it sounds all nice and easy, and all of a sudden it gets saucy, you know. All right. So here we go. The first hot take is third party is not worth buying. Okay, Austin, I want you to tell me why this is true. Why it is not worth buying. Being the guy that buys.
It's not worth buying, man. It's unlicensed. It's Hot Toys in Inart is in every way superior to the junk that you get with third parties, right? Because you, sure, yeah, you can probably name a couple of decent ones, right? But I can name a multitude. Like you can name 2 good ones out of the 1,000 that there are, right? Does that make it worth buying? That one itself doesn't. If you take the ratio of it, no, spend the extra $50 because a lot of these third parties, sure, they're listed at 150 to 175, sometimes 200. After taxes and shipping, you're spending 200, 225. You might as well spend the extra 40 or $50 on a hot toy, right? Not even just that. It's a buyer's market for hot toys right now. You can buy backwards right now, and it makes so much more sense than buying one of these third-party figures. You know, if you wanted one of the good third-party figures, right? And one of the ones I get brought up a lot is the So-So Toys Gambit. Like, that's one of the ones I get brought up of like, look how amazing this is. They did better than Sideshow. That one's like $250, $220 to $250 if you buy it used, right? I can pick up a multitude of hot toys for $150 to $200. That is in almost every way superior to like that number one third party figure.
Sure.
Dude, Austin Nicholas, man.
That was I almost felt like you believed in all of that.
Well, I do. I understand it, right?
Yeah.
I understand it.
I got you. Spotchka, tell me
coming out of your
mouth. Tell me why this is not true.
This is not true because third-party figures, I mean, you get characters, if you, let's say like me, you're a DC fan, you get characters that Hot Toys and Inart aren't even considering, never will consider, and if they do consider it, it's because sales are down. So not only do you have a variety of range of companies to choose from between Mars Toys, So-So Toys, Thunder Toys, you name it. There's probably a character out there for it. So not only do you get that, but a lot of times you get to choose between quality. So-So Toys and Mars Toys often typically make the same figure, or sometimes a recast of a Hot Toys figure. So if you are not in the market to spend $500 to $600 to even $800 for a figure that you really want, you have a chance to buy it for $200 to $250 with a third-party company, if not for less. So that's why you're wrong, Austin.
You're wrong.
I feel like I'm wrong. I feel like I'm wrong right now.
No, that's fun. You know, I need to get. Go ahead.
Go on, Brick. Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, I need to get into more third party. I think the only thing that bothers me with third party is you don't have their actual name on the box. That's it. That's literally
display the boxes.
What's that?
Do you display the boxes?
No.
Why do you care?
I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things where it's like, and I'm not saying I would never buy one, but it's just a part of me is like, well, maybe Hot Toys will make a Gambit. Maybe Hot Toys will make a Willy Wonka. Maybe,
well,
you know what I
Hono
mean?
may make a Gambit. So
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
for sure. But just that's really the only thing. And the other thing too is the fear that it won't go along with my Hot Toys figures, I guess.
I should
like a lot of people say that about like Into the Spider-Verse figures. I think they go well with the rest of the Hot Toys line. But
that's why you got to be very, very picky, Brick. Because like with me, I'm very, 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 very picky with third-party figures. Like, for example, there is a Deathstroke that's coming out. Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke. There are currently 2 different versions available. It's by the same company. They call it the Death Kneel version, but So-So is making a version, right? I already know that So-So has better bodies, better paint applications, overall just a better figure, right? Yeah. So with that, and I know it's going to fit within Hot Toys figures because like up here I have Polka Dot Man and Bloodsport from Thunder Toys, and they work perfectly well with the other Hot Toys figures. And I feel like they are, when they're making, not all these figures, but a majority of these companies, when they're making these figures, they have the Hot Toys figure on hand with them, trying to make sure it looks good with those figures, because I feel like that's going to be 40% of the battle right there. Is when people are watching these reviews, they're going to go to that part of the video review section where they're comparing it. So yeah, I can understand where you're coming from that though. Yeah.
And I don't want to say that I agree with this statement, because I don't. I think they're still worth getting. I actually have a Toys Era The Fiend, and he's just, part of me feels like part of the figure is better than the Hot Toys. Like I feel it's more flexible.
And that weird.
And it's easier to put him on the glider. There's just a lot there, but overall the Hot Toys one is better. But it's just something that was, I still have it. I have both the Hot Toys and the Fiend next side by side each other, one with the mask on, obviously the Fiend, and then the Hot Toys has his mask off with the Willem Dafoe head sculpt. And it's just really cool that they're like next to the glider and just that look. But yeah. Hayden Collect says, I'm finally getting Reverse Flash thanks to third-party figures. Aaron Collect says, Austin Nicholas, king of third party in a good way, of course. Fantastic collection.
He is very, the king of party, man.
Very nice collection, my friend. All right. Anything else you guys want to say about third party before I get on to the next saucy hot take?
No, I think we roasted it enough.
I know. All right. Next one. Inart won't last. I'm gonna go. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'll go with you again, Austin. Let's go.
Okay. So here's.
Are you doing true or not true?
I'll take the hard one.
I'll let you choose this time, and then Spotchko will go the opposite, and then next time Spotchko can go first and choose.
I think I'll take the hard. one. I'll go with Inart won't last.
Okay.
Okay. Then here's why Inart's not going to last. You have all these fanboys who keep saying Inart's so much superior to Hot Toys, Inart this, Inart that. Like, here's the thing. You're going to get a couple figures each year. Like, Hot Toys at this point is synonymous with 6 scale. Like, when people think of 6 scale, they think of Hot Toys. When people think of Hot Toys, they think of 6 scale, right? Hot Toys owns the entire market. Inart's just a small drop in the entire ocean. They're not going to surpass Hot Toys. They're not going to have more IPs. They're not going to have more options for you. You'll just take your couple figures each year. And while I will amount 80 figures a year from Hot Toys, so yeah, Inart won't last.
Yeah. Wow.
And on that note, to Nicholas, I think that they will last, because here's the deal, brother. You've got characters and IPs that Hot Toys aren't even considering making for whatever reason. You take your 80 figures that are going to be an average of about 30 of those are going to have perfect head sculpts, and the others are going to be somewhere in the mid-range. Inart over here is knocking it out of the park with every single release. There's not been a bad release yet.
Oh, so 30 Hot Toys doing pretty well, and your 2 Inart figures doing pretty well. Yeah, that's good comparison.
I mean, hey, when you've got all these announcements coming out, and when you've got a,
That's the
polish
thing. We're getting good announcements.
good announcements. Now,
Yeah.
sure, they need to release their Inart Batman, and I feel like that'll get a lot of people over on their side. We'll have to see. But however, you are getting IPs from movies and figures from IPs that Hot Toys aren't going to make. For example, Paul Atreides, Christopher Reeve Superman. I doubt that they ever remake that one. So you're getting
Game of Thrones,
Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings isn't
Don't
one
help
that
them break.
See, I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge of this one. The last one I didn't believe because I do think third party figures are worth buying. But
Wait. Quick disclaimer. I do not
Yeah.
think Inart won't last.
Okay, and that's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
a big fan of Inart, people.
I am becoming a bigger fan of Inart. I pre-ordered the Paul Atreides. I'm really looking forward to Game of Thrones line. But part of me somewhat believes this. That
I don't
like,
only because that yeah, their price points, like you think of that Walking Phoenix Joker is so fucking expensive. But then you got Paul Atreides, right? That was what, $300-$400? So you still are in the affordable range, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing they need to do is hire more people and produce these faster. And I think they will because now they're globally. So I think they're making their way there. I think they'll be fine. But part of me, like when I say part of me, and like in the back of my head, I've thought of this. Like, what if like Hot Toys just continues to roll and Inart kind of it gets in a standstill and they're like, screw it, let's just not do this. And we're losing money. We're, whatever. I don't know.
I think Inart is playing this very meticulously. Like maybe that's why. Like, yeah, they have a small staff. Yes, they have a small production in terms of like turnaround time. So it's like maybe that's on the back of their mind, but I'm also thinking like they are planning their figures very, very meticulously, very like methodically. Like, this is the time that we want to release this one. Like, they're making Hot Toys put in more effort into their figures than they would have.
It's true. Yeah, I remember I would hear people say Hot Toys has nothing to worry about. They're not worried. And then all of a sudden they come out with Artisan, they come out with all this stuff. And it's like, they might not be worried of like going like, their company being destroyed and like Inart like taking over, but they are worried about their sales overall. Like it's there. Like,
especially for figures that they're making too, like Batman or a Superman or any of that. Yeah.
So I think there's so many different ways to like actually look like actually outside of the game. There's so many ways to look at this, right? And like I think the number one is if you think of market share. And truly though, in no way is Inart gonna make a splash in the market of 6 scale compared to what Hot Toys does. It's just not achievable if you actually break it out, right? But you can argue though, Inart will last due to the quality and care that they put into each of these characters, right? You've had a lot of custom companies be around for a little while now, and they're still around because of the quality that the people get. Like one of the things for third-party figures is like that price to value, right?
Yeah.
Like this V for Vendetta figure is like $120. Is it a great figure?
That's awesome.
No, but it gives me like this representation of that franchise, and that was good enough, right? And some people feel that way with a lot of figures, like, for that price is good enough. But then some people are like, for Dune, I want this to be absolutely perfect. Or for Gandalf, I want this to absolutely be perfect. And I'm willing to spend X amount of money to get the perfection that I want from this character for my display.
Yeah.
Right. For the representation of that movie or that franchise that I love so much. So yeah, Inart's for sure not underperforming, and they're not going to go away at all.
Right.
Give them a solid decade. Yeah. They're
I wonder where they'll be. Like, we're getting like what 2 to 3 figures a year, maybe, and then
there's only been a calendar.
But now, right, and maybe 10 years down the road, we might get 10 plus.
Guys, they're already global.
I mean,
yeah.
Look at the ramp up that Hot Toys had over 20 years, right? They didn't start off making 80 figures a year.
Exactly.
Especially in a very difficult time. Like Inart's coming into a very difficult time, not only with inflation, but like logistically, it's been a nightmare for about 3 years. So
yeah,
I mean, Hot Toys has only been popular for only so long. Like established in 2003, but weren't really made to mainstream with collectors until like 2015, 2016 era, right? That's when a majority of people started, at least in the community, started collecting. I feel like there you had
for sure.
veterans here and there, but
When
like
and then you
don't forget your COVID collectors.
your COVID
Yeah.
collectors, but a majority
When-
of them are like 2015, 2016.
yeah, and
That's
you always hear
older.
like when Hot Toys first started
Oh,
off, like
sure.
yeah, they like Hot Toys only had so many figures, so like more figures were worth more, and that's exactly what we're seeing with Inart, right? Like you guys are saying, it's
Yeah. It also, man, I'm a fan of free market anyway, man. More
Yeah.
companies introduced.
The more variety we're gonna get.
Yeah, the more companies introduced, the better, right? If you
Yeah.
just have Hot Toys as a solo single company, they own the market. They would then dictate prices at this point, right? But with other companies kind of coming into it, put in either more quality or even lesser quality with a lesser value, people will then get to like pick and choose, and then the cream of the crop's going to rise regardless. That's the beauty of a free market.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Inart should focus more on not competing with Hot Toys, like for example, the Batman or Superman, and go for these lines that Hot Toys don't have, like they're doing with Game of Thrones? Do you think that should be their main focus?
Yes and no. Like do lines that they're already doing, but also give us more of lines that Hot Toys is failing to like fulfill. Like I've been saying, Aquaman. Give us more boys figures. I've been saying boys from Inart for a long time. Give us like Namor from Wakanda Forever, like characters that Hot Toys for whatever reason just not going to make. Go ahead and make those figures that way. Like you're going to have that market for people who are already looking for it.
Or even the figures that Hot Toys has made, right?
Yeah.
Even if they do those figures, like I said, though, some people are willing to pay more money for more quality, right? And of course, we all love Hot Toys, right? If you collect 6 scale, you love Hot Toys, but not everything they've made is perfect. Almost everything they've made, you can tweak, you can increase the quality, you can have rooted hair, and some people definitely value that and they're willing to pay. And if it's a character that they love so much, they will pay for it. So I definitely think they should do both.
Yeah, for sure.
And
I agree.
Like my first pre-order of this Superman that's coming out, right? It's what, $330 after you've pre-ordered it with kit. That's cheaper than what you could average get a Justice League Superman Hot Toys for these days after buying backwards. And that's
hell, even like this Hot Toys Wrecker, I think after taxes and shipping, I think it's $310.
Yeah. So it's right at the same price point. So I'm appreciative of that.
Man, I'm excited to get my first Inart figure, Paul Atreides. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm hoping it's faster because it is globally and they might push that a little quicker. But we will see. Hopefully by next year. I might have high hopes, but I hope. I know some people are joking like, yeah, when Dune Part 3 comes out in 2028 or whatever. Yeah. Like, oh God, I hope not. But no, we have a couple new people in the house here watching. I appreciate it, Darth Tamaris. Good to see you. And Reverse Zio, my guy. Good to see you as well. Joining in on all the fun. We got Loki Collector. Thank you for being here, my friend. Good to see you for the first time watching the Bugle 6. So thank you, Calvin. Yeah, just a lot of good stuff going on in the chat. A lot of good conversation. Everyone's saying hello. And a lot of good conversation on Inart. So I do have one more saucy subject, and kind of going into what we're kind of talking about already. Hot Toys needs, keyword is needs, a new license. And now this, before you guys go, this is something that I've always thought of because I feel like we are getting too many 2.0s, 3.0s. We're getting too many of the same variety of figures. Eventually it's just going to get kind of old. Like how many, I love Spider-Man and I made a video about it, but how many do we need? How many Scarlet Witches do we need? So do they need, and also to think and consider competing with people like Inart, do they need to create a new license? I'm going to start with you this time, Spotchka.
I'm going to go with the defense on this one, saying that they do need a new license, saying that, you're right. With all the 2.0s and immediately my mind goes to Spider-Man and Batman, right? Like they have yet, in my eyes, to make a perfect Spider-Man figure in terms of posability and just accuracy to a movie or a game that it's based off of. When it comes to Batman, like don't get me started on the Batman Begins suit. But at the same time, like I would like to see characters, like I said, like from The Boys. I would like to see characters from other movies, like one-off movies, like I heard today that I forget what the company is. I think it's maybe Thunder Toys, Shaun of the Dead, figures.
Oh,
like
wow.
random horror would be so perfect for Hot Toys, I think, because they've already shown what they could do with a Pennywise figure. If they would go in the direction of giving us like a ghost face or a leather face, or something in the direction of just more niche IPs for your collectors, because a lot of chances, like if you look at your audience is from like people who like DC, Marvel, and Star Wars, chances are a lot of these people are also liking Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, The Boys, Invincible. Like Invincible from Hot Toys would be insane, man. So we need a new lesson from Hot Toys. Tell me why not, Austin.
Okay, so here's the reason why not. What Hot Toys is doing is working. Danny, like you said, they hit their stride a decade ago, right? Okay, what happened a decade ago? They started focusing on these lines that produce and they sell. They actually sell. And not only that, once again, Hot Toys is synonymous with 6-scale. 6-scale is synonymous with Hot Toys. Like when I got in this hobby, I thought everything was a Hot Toy. Like I bought figures because I thought everything was a Hot Toy. This was before I discovered the community, actually started doing my own research. I just thought it was all the exact same. That's because Hot Toys has done so well doing what you're just complaining about, Danny. They're giving the people what they want. Thousands upon thousands of people collect these beloved lines, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and they make these characters that people actually want to buy. So their model that they're creating right now is working. These other companies, they're failing. That is the reason why Hot Toys needs to continue doing exactly what they're doing, right? They're growing bigger. They're growing better. The 2.0s, the reason why they're doing the 2.0s, once again, not only do they sell, but they're taking these figures that they made 10 years ago and they're doing them better. And you know what? They're still selling, Danny, because that's what people want. They don't want these one-off things. People don't want a Rob Zombie's Michael Myers. People hate that movie. Do you think that's going to sell? No.
Yeah. You think that guy from Halloween Ends, the guy that beats up Michael Myers, you think he's going to sell? Come on.
No, I bet Inart's going to do it, though.
Quick theater class you took, bro.
I really want to answer this question real quick. What license do they need that would make them money?
The Boys.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's another one.
I personally think if they were to jump on Dune right now, if they were to announce Dune the week that the Inart one dropped, if they announced Dune, like that would hurt Inart so much because that Hot Toys would have multiple. They wouldn't just have Paul Atreides. And then I also think that Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, just like Inart's doing, but they would do it much faster.
Game of Thrones is a good one. I initially thought Jurassic Park. For one, I think Jurassic Park is a perfect movie. So selfishly, I want that. But also, Jurassic Park's been around for 30 years. There's different generations that have fallen in love with this movie and with this franchise. So like that's the first one that came to my head is that then they can venture into the dinosaurs, the 6-scale vehicles, the standalone characters, displays, accessories. Oh man, selfishly, I just want that. So,
and I wish they would go back to like Planet of the Apes, Rocky Balboa, like certain stuff. And I know we've gotten that from Hot Toys, but I want it back. I want the old Planet of the Apes. I want the new stuff. Just be really, really cool.
I would pick up Caesar from the Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Oh yeah, dude, that would be awesome. Or even, I would. I don't think a lot of people would do this, but like from the first movie, James Franco's character, which I know they're not going to do now, but like James Franco's character was Caesar. Like it's just something cool. I know Hot Toys third party maybe one day, but like Yeah, but a Caesar for
How
sure
about
would
you, Rick?
be.
I know you would for sure pick up a Caesar on a horse, bro, with like a
Oh, dude.
or something. Dude.
If they did Caesar on a horse, if they did a White Walker on a horse from Game of Thrones, like, dude,
More
like,
figures on
man.
horses, honestly.
Yeah, I think Inart will do that. I think they will do a
Horse.
They
kit.
should do like a Night King with a White Walker and a horse.
Yeah.
Like that would be. I'd buy that. I'd spend $1,000 on that. 100%. Hayden Collect says, I don't think they necessarily need a new license, but they do need to expand their roster within the license they do have. Give us characters we haven't seen yet. 100%. 100% agree with that. You know, before doing, and I love Scarlet Witch, but before doing like 4 Scarlet Witches, give us Blue Beetle, for example, or more Aquaman. Oh yeah,
You're gonna
yeah.
make Black Manta, but not make Aquaman, bro.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's tough. Let's see. Big Dog Pound. Hot Toys knocked it out of the park with The Rock and John Cena's head sculpts. I hope one day they can obtain a WWE license. I think it's possible. I do. I don't know how far they would go into it, but knowing that they have done John Cena and The Rock now, I could see them at least doing those two, maybe with like a Stone Cold or Undertaker, like the main ones. But yeah, I mean that'd be really cool. There's a lot of people I find in this hobby love wrestling and collect other wrestling stuff. So like I don't see why that would fail. Now, with the Asian culture, maybe not. And maybe that's what they focus on too, because they don't really watch. I mean, maybe I'm sure they have their fan base with WWE, but I don't think it's like these other characters that we're getting like Batman and
America.
Yeah. So, let's see. Not a big Transformers fan, but that would be sick.
See, that's a double-bladed sword to me, because it's like on one hand that would be sick, but also to me I'm like, they need to transform. Like to me it's criminal to have a Transformers action figure that does not transform. I know that's asking a lot, but still,
Hey, don't forget, man, Hot Toys, they came out with the Black Panther that transforms.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You guys want Transformers, baby? We got it.
We have a very good question here. 16GJ. New collector, so not sure how much they've done this in the past, but individual artist license would seem to do well. Just got my Blitzway Cobain, and the aftermarket prices are sky high. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, so that was one of like, I don't know how long you've been on 16GJ, but I mean, that was one of the things that Danny brought up, is the fact that we need more of these individualized licenses to bring in different audience, to bring in more appeal, right? Because that is one of the things that collectors say is the hobby's a little stagnant because it's the same Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and more specifically, it's Spider-Man, it's Batman, and then some regurgitated troopers for Star Wars.
Could you imagine if they made a 1/scale Taylor Swift Hot Toy figure? The amount.
Oh my gosh!
If you're kidding,
Hot Toys needs to jump on that now.
Do you think it would? Do you think these fans would actually spend $300 though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're talking about
out of let's say out of 20 million, just whatever, at least 100,000 of those fans would buy it. And then you have your Hot Toys collectors, at least half,
look,
buy that because they know it'll be
limited. Say that, but I would actually buy one.
See,
yeah,
but I would buy it because Rachel is obsessed with Taylor Swift and like being her partner and wanting to support her and like having her hobby mixed into my hobby. Yeah, I would buy Taylor Swift.
Yeah, especially in Artisan. My goodness,
an Artisan. Oh my god,
especially this year with like the whole NFL thing. Like, it would be crazy. I want a Steven Tyler from Aerosmith or Bob Marley, but I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I'm not the biggest like music fan. Of course, I love music, but I don't think really there's many artists I would love. You know what? I don't know if I'd take like a Hot Toys just because I don't know if I'd want to spend the money, but like an Eminem figure. And the biggest reason why is like growing up, me and my brother, we'd play Halo I'd have my Dr. Pepper. He'd have his Pepsi. We'd have Cheez-Its. And we'd play Xbox Live all night. And we just had Eminem on in the background. This is back when we had CDs and stuff. So we'd just play CDs. We'd just play Eminem. And so like when I think of like my childhood, oddly enough, I think of me and my brother playing Halo, listening to Eminem. So like, that's the
other line.
That means so much to me. And like literally, I would want the companion piece to be a Master Chief. Like I would literally have my Master Chief and Eminem like side by side.
Video game line for Hot Toys. That's another thing that would just blow up Hot Toys. Like Master Chief diecast, Gears of War. Like a lot of collectors today grew up on those games from the early 2000s. Like, man, some good stuff out there. But I do want to show 1/6 a GJ. When Lego finally does the Lover House, it'll probably break records. Yeah, there's a lot of talks about that. I know it's on Lego Ideas to vote for and all that. So if that happens, whew.
I may definitely be a noob, and this may show my ignorance. What is the Lover House?
It's like I believe, okay, I know there's like 2 different houses on Lego Ideas. I think this is the one that was on one of her music videos. And
so this is Taylor Swift.
Yeah, Taylor Swift.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
All the girlfriends have excuses to buy Legos now. Y'all are welcome.
Yeah, video games would be a seller for sure. Resident Evil Hot Toys. Oh, dude, like there's so much you could do. So much.
Halo, baby. Give me Master Chief. Give me
an Elite.
Brute.
You know?
Yeah. Or even a 6-scale Warthog. Can you imagine?
6-scale Warthog and a ghost. And then a grunt. A little grunt would be cool, you know?
I would literally, man, I'd be all in. I would give up so many of these MCU figures.
I'd give away half of my Spider-Mans if I had to afford some Halo stuff.
I would easily, and I've said this so many times just because like the collection has just, there's just so much in here. I've said so many times, I'd feel comfortable getting rid of 30 pieces just for like the sanctity of having some space. I would legit tomorrow offload 30 figures just so I can have an entire Halo line.
That would be amazing. Dude, I'm all for that. If we get the community to play some Halo.
Like, oh man, I'm down.
I'm down. Let's make it happen.
Brick, I'm in.
I'm in too. I know Evil Sneaker will be in. I know Spotchka's gonna figure it out. We got to do it. We have to. And then somebody's got to stream it, or a few people. That'd be so cool. Ghostbusters is another one that I think would sell good, so well.
I mean, that's the reason why I'm buying the Present Toys ones,
right?
Just to kind of like satisfy that itch of having that representation in my collection. Yeah.
Yep. Last of Us, another one would be sick. Man, Uncharted would be another good one. Yeah. To get Nathan Drake, pretty cool. But yeah, guys, this has been another episode of the Bugle 6. I hope you guys like the new segment Sauce.
That was fun.
Yeah, man, it brings up a lot of topics and kind of puts a spin on things. Let's try to get rid of this real quick though. But yeah, I mean, it's just something. It's hard to come up with things that are like really unique and different than everybody. So I try to at least put my own spin on certain things and kind of make fun with the whole top or bottom, you know, the name itself, right? It's like, what is this? When people want to see it. Like I wear my shirt that says top or bottom on it, and people in public, you just
I will say top or bottom, and then between that and saucy, and you said hot.
Yeah.
It kind of shows.
Saucy I didn't really mean, but yeah, I guess that does work.